Thank you, Chair. I just want to go to continuous descent trial. Why was it deferred until April 2024?
Just one moment, Senator. I do think I have something on that. Senator, the continuous descent trial in Melbourne, I believe is the one you're referring to. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
So it was supposed to start in late 2023 and run until April 2024.
Senator,
why has it been postponed?
I don't know. I'll have to take that on notice.
Mr Harfield, do you know?
I don't.
Will any of the people behind you know? Does anyone in Airservices Australia who's before the Senate know?
It looks like no, Senator, but if we can get an answer for you in the meantime, it shouldn't be too difficult to get something.
Is Paul Logan here?
Yes.
Yeah? You don't know?
No.
Michelle Bennett, are you here?
No, she's not, Senator.
Christian Payton?
No, Senator.
Mark Hind?
No, Senator.
Elizabeth Grinston?
No, Senator.
Or Lucinda Gemmell?
No, Senator.
None of those are here. Very hefty salaries of the people I just read out, as you said, are all in your annual report. And you can't tell me why the continuous descent trial into Melbourne Airport's been postponed without explanation. And here you are without explanation.
Senator, it's just detailed. If we can source it between now and...
Did Melbourne Airport ask for it to be pushed out?
Not that I am aware of.
Did Airservices Australia ask for it to be pushed out?
It would probably be something that internally, some sort of change program, which we'll get confirmation of.
Did the Minister ask for it to be pushed out?
No, Senator.
No. Did CASA ask?
No, Senator, it would be an internal issue.
Internal to whom?
Airservices.
Right. All the Airservices people playing at home. So I want to understand why the continuous descent trial was deferred without explanation. Would that type of arrival actually help alleviate excessive noise? That's why we want to trial it?
Potentially, yes, Senator.
Yeah. So we've just kicked out another solution to the never, never. No wonder everyone sitting under these planes is frustrated. Is Western Sydney Airport going to be launched with this technology?
Continue descent approaches. My understanding is that in the flight path design, that would be tried to be catered with as much as possible.
And what other airports could you expand this approach to, potentially?
Potentially, as it gets rolled out, is something that we're trying to aim for all airports.
Is there some sort of physical constraints that would mean it's not appropriate to use that type of approach?
It's more about the whole construct of the design, because continuous descent approaches is that once they start approach, they don't put any more power on, so it's actually
right. Almost like a
correct. Yeah, but when you're dealing with departing aircraft, and if you have to hold altitude restrictions to keep them separated, they have to put the power on. So it's about design of the airspace so that you can allow aircraft to continue descent without having to stop their descent.
So which airports would be at the top of the list if this trial, once it's off the ground and successful? Like, what's our top three?
You would try to incorporate it wherever you could. The first one we would try, because we're actually building the flight paths now, would be something like Western Sydney.
Yeah.
It just depends on the constraints around the airport, airspace structures, etc. And so it would be what I would decide is that it would be sort of a design feature, is where we're making changes, we'd try to incorporate it as much as possible.
So why hasn't this type of approach?
It's something that we've been trialling, working on.
But we're not trialling it.
No. Here in Melbourne as a one-off, right? But it's something that we've worked. It's broader terminology in, or call it air traffic management circles, is called trajectory-based operations, where you're trying to get the most efficient trajectory of the aircraft. But the thing is that aircraft don't operate in isolation to others, and so how the system has worked, and so it's about changing that system over time to introduce a more effective way of managing aircraft.
Are you confident that you will start the trial in Melbourne in April?
At this stage, yes.
So the next time we see each other, assuming you're reappointed, Mr Harfield, that we will be talking about the continuous descent trial in Melbourne?
Yes, Senator.
I just had a quick question about Hobart's noise abatement trial.
Yes.
At what stage is the noise abatement trial? Did you have questions on that?
The noise abatement trial is that we're just going back out for community consultation in March, and the trial will commence after that consultation has been completed.
And so that's March?
This year, yes.
And how many people have been involved in that process so far?
I'd like to ask Mr Curran if he's got that information.
Senator, I don't have the specifics on the Hobart participation. We undertook consultation throughout a survey and provided briefings to the community through October, November 2022 on the proposed trial. We worked through a series of options and then undertook a period of feedback or receiving feedback. The feedback was mixed, with just over 50% of respondents supporting the trial and another 50% not supporting the trial, and essentially that related to how the options affected those different communities.
Yeah.
Yes.
As to be expected. All right, I'll have lots of questions on notice.
So we're done now with Airservices Australia. So Mr Hartfield and crew, thank you very much.